It has been an insane day. Today has been an insane week. I hope you all had a great week. And I will tell you right now, look, I'm like cleaning off this desk 'cause all these things are annoying me. Because I've my control freak, my inner control freak has gone off. It's been an absolute crazy day. So listen, it has been a really good time. We got some new segments for you guys today. Bad song lyrics got the biggest vote, not by much. So I'm going to kind of keep the other one, which is where I talk about what's going on in a photo. So it'll be pretty interesting. I do believe the two songs that will be read, well, there was 3, but 2 that went fairly well. Trolls by Tekashi 6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj, and Wet Ass Pussy by Cardi B. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get through a couple of bars on that. That should be interesting. So stay tuned for that. It should be fun. So I did want to, after doing all this silly goose stuff, there is something that I've been seeing an awful lot of, and somebody asked me the other day, because I've interviewed a couple of people now, how is it that you stay, positive? How is it that you kind of work through the things that you're working through and doing the things that you're doing? And the answer is not every day is going to be like that. Not every day is going to be a home run. There's going to be days like today where I felt like shit. And it was just because you can't control everything. And when you try to control everything, the harder it is, and the more you try, the worse it gets. Interviewing and talking to people who have great discipline and hanging out with people who, work really hard, but they want to be able to cut loose, and I want to give them a platform to do that. So, with me starting my own platform and my own podcast, the idea was that I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, and to not have any expectations of that, you want to have some for listeners and followers and things like that, but the really thing is just to kind of stay true to yourself and just kind of enjoy, the ride. And, so far I'm really enjoying the ride. So that's how I would justify not putting so much time, effort into what people think of you. Although I do think it's important to see how the world might see you, or see how other people see you, to have that little self-realization. But I think it's important to give people who are very disciplined, and people who listen, and people who've accomplished great things. We have somebody coming up in the next couple of weeks who I'm really excited about having on. And, I'm just so excited to bounce ideas off of this person too. It's like I get a lot from it as well. For myself, how hard it is to find people that it's like get up so early, go home, get up at 6:00, don't go home till 8:30, spend, not as much time with your family, your friends, because you're committed to, a higher purpose. Disciplined individual, or somebody who's very committed to something, is a very lonely road. Like it's not, you're not going to look back. You're going to see, a couple of friends here and there that have kind of stuck by you, a couple of, family members that are here and there that'll stick by you. And so the people that I'm reaching out to and I'm talking to are people like me, people who, it's like, hey, maybe you didn't think anybody saw you, but I saw you, and then maybe they make me feel that way too. Like, hey, maybe you didn't know that I see you as much as I do. You know what I mean? That I look up to you as much as I do, or you motivate me, or you've kept me even more disciplined by seeing your stuff. And they have smaller platforms. So that's what I'm interested in. And although we do have a silly goose time, and we really do, you guys just, crack me up. And, some of the shit that we go back and forth with is the best. I mean, I get to do this, and I do this for fun, and I really have a good time. Yeah, but so for me, it's always just been huge to find people that I look up to, people that I actually am interested in what they've been doing, because people do motivate me just as much as I've motivated others, and that's huge. So um, yeah, yeah. So I think that the past maybe 6 years, the past 6 years or so, have been really an eye-opening experience for me. And it's important to see who kind of burns out and who doesn't. Like, I know it sounds bad, but there's people who are just going to say that they really talked a big talk, but they didn't walk the walk, And now I'm starting to see all those types of people kind of peeking their heads up. These people who kept their head down, worked, stayed consistent and disciplined. And that's the people I'm seeing. That's the people I'm asking. And maybe I'm talking about this more because I'm really excited about one of our guests in the next couple of weeks. He's also doing a painting for me. I had this vision of this painting that I wanted, and I was just really excited to be able to talk to him and reach out to him and have him do it, because he's just such a phenomenal job. But it's just one of the many things that he does. And I'm really excited about it, so maybe that's why it's on my mind so much. I just hope that the people that I'm inspired by, or that I, cheer on, know that I'm looking to give the same feeling that I get. Yeah, that's the best way to explain it. I'm looking to give back that feeling that I get every day. I get a lot of praise, and I get a lot of thank yous, and things like that. And that's what I miss. That's what I want to give back, because I think that it's so important to cheer people on the same way that others are cheering you on, and it be genuine, like being very genuine. Like, I'm not going to reach out to somebody that I'm not inspired by, or that I'm not, but to be able to reach out to people, and also to be in a better position where you can, have people facilitate their crafts, their like crafts for you, I think is huge. So to be able to reach out, I also have, somebody else working on a really big, project. They haven't started yet, but it's big to my heart. And then, to be able to reach out to, friends for other, or reach out to people for other business ventures too. Like, we don't talk about, I think when you talk about businesses, and people automatically think that, like, you have all of this money, like it's like they just think business and money, where once you start kind of understanding how finances can work, and once you kind of understand, like, hey, the money always goes, it doesn't always come in, but it always will go. I think you start to realize, and you assess, you start to think of it as business as in risk, so business is not, or what I've been taught, or what's been kind of passed down to me by the many mentors that I've attached myself with, is more like, people think business, money. Oh yeah, you got a bunch of businesses, you have a bunch of money. It's actually a bunch of risk. So that person is taking a higher risk on failure, because failure happens more times than success. So being able to look at yourself, and to be able to look at people, or help people, or have people help you, so many people look at it as business, money. It's not the case. It's actually business and risk. So you have to assess the risks, and try to be as calculated as you can. Some things it's just a bigger risk, the bigger reward. So that's been helpful too, to be able to talk to these people with such crafts and skills, and have them tell me about how much they risked. They were sleeping on the ground. We had Jarno Lugo out on last week, hearing him. I remember I dropped him off at his house, and I remember thinking my house was shit. I mean, I was actually living on my buddy's floor at the time, but I was really in kind of a rough place. I didn't have any place really to go, so I went there and just tried. I used to drive to Canton to work all the time, I used to wake up at 4:45 to go to the gym, 4:30 to go to the gym for 5:30 to be at work for 7:30. So we all do it. It happens, and we all struggle. So to hear him, talk about his life and how he had to move on and things had to change, and to see that it's been that delayed gratification of how many years, and now he's able to provide for his family using the skills and talents that he has. That's the type of stuff that I like. I'm sorry, I smiled. I know I keep smiling when I say that, but it really does excite me, because I think I was just onto something just mid podcast on what I'm trying to get is what I'm trying to give back what I get all the time, Yeah. I just kind of found that out mid podcast. That's so crazy. So yeah, I guess that's what my biggest accomplishment or what my message is for that. That's what I want to do for that. So, all right, listen, I've been babbling on about just being excited, but I think you got to be excited about life. It's not always like that. Sometimes it's really tough. Like right now, I'm finally able to take this freaking shoulder sling off for just a second. I've been keeping it on for most of the day and then taking it off. It's still a little sore, but having it on this table makes it feel a hell of a lot better. But anyway, so I've been able to still work out and still train. I've been doing, just the bike. It's definitely not the same. It's definitely hindered me as far as, what I wanted to accomplish or what I want to accomplish. But thank, to my clients, my friends, and, family, thank you for being so helpful and patient while I heal up. So it's nice. I go to actually PT again tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. So the shoulder definitely healing up, day by day, week by week type of thing. And so, yeah, let's get to hell yeah versus hell no. Now, these three were a lot of fun. Thank you for sending them in. You guys are the best. So the first one, which is Vick's Vapor Rub. Now, Vick's Vapor Rub, depending on who you are, what type of family you had, I found out Vick's Vapor Rub is very cultural thing. With my friend's family that I lived with for a really long time during some tough times in my teenage years. Vick's Vapor Rub is like everything to the people in the Spanish community. And I found that out because I had no idea what was going on when Vick's Vapor Rub was implemented on the situations in which Vick's Vapor Rub was implemented to me. So it's kind of like in my big fat Greek wedding when the guy takes out Windex and he's like spraying it on like cuts and he's like spraying it on everything. He's like drinking it and stuff. Like Vick's Vapor Rub, I remember using it as a kid, like putting on your chest, you just kind of like huffing it when you're trying to like feel better. I get that. But I got into a nice brawl, and I was hit with a bottle. The kid said he hit me with his fist, but I actually don't believe him because the thing that I saw flying towards my face was a Sobe bottle, and let me tell you, those suckers are hard. So I was hit with a Sobe bottle, and I was in the hospital. I got out of the hospital, and some drama, some craziness ensued, some wildness, and I had another young man come at me and start throwing punches at me. And actually, considering that I just got out of the hospital and I had a guy throwing punches at me, he did not land not one punch, and I was all bandaged up, like my head was all bandaged up. And then he just started apologizing to me. So that was actually one of the cooler moments of my life, getting out of the hospital, having a guy throw punches at me and then apologize because he can't hit me, which was pretty cool. But afterwards, I realized I had a concussion. And when I went home and my friend's mother, she's pretty much a mother to me, so I just call her mommy. So she rubbed, she first off asked, how I was feeling, and I said I don't feel good. I believe I had a concussion. They were going to keep me for observation, but I was there for so long. They said, "Do you feel nauseous?" I didn't. Blah blah blah. So I went home. So after I went home, I sat down and I was like, "Hey, I'm just going to go to sleep." I took some Tylenol. I took some codeine, and she proceeded to take the Vicks Vapor Rub and she wiped it on where I got hit by the Sobe bottle. In that situation, I just didn't know what to do. I just kind of was, okay, we're doing this. We're gonna do this. She's gonna rub Vicks Vapor Rub on the side of my head where it got hit, and yeah, I remember that because my eye was burning just on this left side. So just right here, this eye was burning. I think she got a little bit on my eyebrow. She took a big old goop of it and just slopped it right on my face. Yeah, it sounded bad. And I fell asleep. The next morning, she asked me if I felt much better because of the Vicks, and the answer was no. But I just I love her very much, and so I said yes. I felt very much better. My eye was really red. This nostril was burning, and there was just Vicks Vapor Rub all over my pillow. It was just plastered on my gross needed to be changed 6 years ago brown pillow. So that's gross. And yeah, so that is like really the only memorable memories of Vicks. I've never, I've used it maybe like one other time when I was actually sick, and it does work. Just really stings the nostrils. And I heard that people use Vicks Vapor Rub in mortuaries and stuff when they are like cutting up body. That makes it sound bad. Preparing bodies. And I heard that a lot of killers and psycho killers use Vicks Vapor Rub when they're just chopping people up. I know I watch a lot of the crime documentaries, despite that they make me not be able to sleep at night. But yeah, so it's good. So I'm gonna say hell yeah for Vicks Vapor Rub because that's the shit. And 75% of you said hell yeah to that. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So the next one is camp sex, having sex while camping. Now, I think this is a loaded question. When you first get there, camp sex can be okay. You know what I mean? Depends on with your group of friends because these tent walls are thin. You know what I mean? You can't be, you can make probably some sweet, quiet love, but you're not having like a heavy, session, with that type of thin tent, walls, and with like couples that like tent together. I don't like that. Like, I don't like being with that. But so if you're going to do love in the very beginning of for camp sex, then yeah, but I don't know how some of you camp. It's probably more like glamping. That where you guys are like in a RV. They got a shower. The nearest place is a mile away where you can go do this, and the mall's there. It's like no, I camp. We go out. We are in the wilderness. So I think it's like important to know when you are that far out, when you are like really, really far out, and it's been a couple of days, the both of you are not going to be smelling right, and I'm not into like that, like deep, high scented hippie, type tent love. You know what I mean? Like you guys are walking the Appalachian trails together type love. No, I'm not going to go for that. So I think the camp sex really depends on what you're doing. You know what I mean? It depends on that mainly. So for me, I'm going to give it a big old hell no. And even though I did say in the beginning we could do it. So 71% of you said hell yeah, and 29% said hell no. So you guys are just a bunch of savages. Just, it depends on the time. I think there should have been more maybe that was my fault. I should have been more specific, like in the beginning, towards the end. I think some of you are going to kind of regret that answer, kind of answering that way. So, yeah, anyway. So now this next one it's more of a who's more annoying. So who to you is more annoying? Is it the baby voices, people who talk in baby voices, or people who constantly say, I'm calling the cops, and usually for not a good reason? So we have the baby voices versus the cop callers. Let's dive into this. If you're using a baby voice in private with your dogs, with your cats, with your animals, I think you get a pass. With your child, remember, it's just like you and the child, the baby daddy, your husband, your wife, whatever. Little baby voice is okay. The people that I'm talking about are the people who do baby voices. Like, you ever been on a date with a couple and they're just like, you're talking, to your girl, talking to your guy, whatever. And they're just like, honey, wunny, I'm thirst, I'm thirsty. And you're just like, what was that? What is she doing right now? Hun, mama is thirsty. What? I can't do it. I can't keep a straight face. I can't not say something, it's just too much. And it's so cringy. It's so cringy when people use baby voices for each other, the guy, I remember my buddy was like, he was mowing his lawn and I just got there and, it was hot, and I was standing there and he said to his wife, who was bringing him out a drink, and she was like doing yard work as well. I can't even repeat it. It's going to make me mad. He said, honey wunny. It's going to make me mad. Honey wunny, you can have a sippy sip if you want to. A sippy sip. And I remember just being like, stop. You guys should not be together. You guys cannot be together. You need to leave each other now. And she did. She took a sip and she goes, thanks, baby. And I remember just being like, oh, it's so gross. So, for me, baby voices are so bad. So I don't know if I could do this. But what's even more, what can be more annoying to some is people who cop call. And right now, and I'm not talking about like some of the dumb shit that people are going to say. Like, obviously, if somebody's breaking in your house, call the cops. And, obviously if somebody's, going to hurt you, call the cops, you're going to get, somebody's trying to shoot you, somebody's trying to kill you in your house. Yeah, freaking call the cops. But I'm talking about like those videos you see of these ladies like, you shouldn't skateboard here. Like, you can't skateboard here. And they're like, man, we're in a fucking skate park. You know what I mean? Like, or man, we're in a public spot, like, drag ass. And she's just on the phone. Like, yeah, excuse me. Yeah, they're here. And they are being just rowdy and just disrespectful. And it's like, dude, lady, chill out, man. They're skateboarding. It's not a big deal. Or I remember we were having a party and it was like 7 o'clock, 7 at night, and we're having a party. Everybody there is of age. Everybody's having a good time and drinking, and the cops get called. And we're like, why are the cops here? And so the police officer, he showed up and he's like, oh, we had, that people were being, rowdy and they were being intoxicated in the street and they were saying all this other stuff. And I'm like, no, there's like, everybody's been in the back. Everybody's been hanging out. Nobody's been doing anything. He's like, oh, well, we got a call. And, you all have that person in your neighborhood where you're like, it's Joanne. Joanne freaking called. God damn it. In because maybe it's that she wanted to be invited to the party. You ever think about that? Maybe the people who call the cops, like, you should, whatever activity you're doing, you should just invite them. Yeah, but then you don't really want, but maybe that's all they need. Maybe that's what they'll need to change. Like, maybe those videos, like, of the dudes that are skateboarding and those people come out and they're all pissed. It's like, hey, why don't you try this to skateboard with us? Maybe that's what you want. I doubt it. It's probably not that. Probably not. But cop callers are the worst, because it could be the most ridiculous things. I remember one time we were playing basketball in a cul-de-sac, and we had a couple of my buddies, there, and this lady, she called the cops and said that we were dealing drugs. Now, this lady was out of her mind, and I'd see her all the time, and she was one of those really cooped up in the house type. Her husband was really slick back, really good looking guy, and it must have just drove her crazy or whatever that, she just hated everything. But we were playing basketball, and she said that the officer showed up and said that, that we were dealing drugs. And I was like, I have been, but not with them or here. We were just playing basketball. And I just think that for some people, calling the cops is just like their version of just tattling or telling, or or maybe just making things up in their head. Because I think people call the cops, too much on some of the dumbest shit, and they don't, and they've never been in a situation where they actually need to call the cops. It's almost like for attention. So for me, I'm trying to think if I ever dialed 911, have I ever called the cops? I don't think I ever have. And I know there's probably some situations I probably should have. No, I don't think I have. So, for me, as much as I hate cop callers, I cannot stand people who it makes me cringe so much that it makes me nauseous. So people who are more annoying to me are people who use baby voices just in front of people and that. I can't even, it's going to make me mad if I keep talking about it. So for me, I'm going to say baby voices. Oh, 63% of you said that cop calling is more annoying. All right, you guys win. You guys win that one. But to me, no, it's definitely more annoying, the baby voices. So we have another great segment, which is bad song lyrics, that I'll be doing as well after this, and that's how we're going to finish up the podcast. So this is bad song lyrics. I'm going to attempt to read them without any facial expressions at all. So our very first song is the very great, the very popular Cardi B and WAP. Yeah. WAP. Sorry, I gotta get ready before I do it. So I picked just a part where it wouldn't get me absolutely crucified for reading. All right, I gotta make sure I keep a straight face. Okay, this is Cardi B. WAP. This is part of the song. I spit on his mic, and now he trying to sign me. Woo, Your Honor. I'm a freak bitch. Handcuffs, leashes, switch my wig. Make him feel like he cheating. Put him on his knees. Give him something to believe in. Never lost a fight, but I'm looking for a beating. Ah. In the food chain, I'm the one that eat you. If he ate my ass. Okay, I failed that, but I gotta finish it. If he ate my ass, he's a bottom feeder. Big D stand for big dominator. I could make you bust before I ever meet you. If I don't hang, then he can't bang. You can't hurt my feelings, but I like pain. If he fuck me and ask, who is it? When I ride a dick, I'ma spell my name. Ah, Whores. Whores in this house. I know I failed miserably at that, and I'm sorry. I am dyslexic, so trying to read is just a challenge in itself. So Cardi B, wet ass pussy. Oh, okay. So this one is song by Tekashi 69 and Nicki Minaj, Trolls. This is two of the paragraphs that I will read. Yeah, she like how I throw them racks. Yeah, 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 yeah. Keep on throwing that cash. Yeah, 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 yeah. Keep on throwing that ass. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ben's truck in the back. Yeah, 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 yeah. Just put it in his face. All this cake. He wanted a taste. We sippin' on that ace. Itsy bitsy waist, pretty face. Yeah, eat it, Cookie Monster. Oh. Damn it. I really tried. That was really hard. He a slave to this pussy. Call me master. Real wet, I said. Slurp it like it's pasta. What the fuck? What are these people doing? They get nervous when it's Nikki on the roster. I'm sorry. I failed again. I really tried. I really was like, I even slapped myself before I did it. Okay. We'll do that. Try to do that every episode. Make sure you send in lyrics. I find that, I'm not obviously going to drop any hard N-bombs or anything like that. So try not to send me ones where it's too much like that. That's going to get me, killed. And obviously I'm not going to say it. So, but some of the other stuff is pretty dicey. So here we go. So just, try to think it that it's me reading it, before I read it. You know what I mean? All right. So I'm out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That really set it off for me. So I'm going to feel good for the rest of the day thinking about that. Awesome. I'm out. So thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for liking. Thank you all for your silly comments. Thank you all for voting. You guys are the best. I'm going to try to do more. And thanks. I love you guys. Later.